guys, it's Jessie from Style and Pepper and the Concrete Catwalk. Thanks for joining us for this month's episode of the Style Spice series. This time we're going to be talking about a do-it-yourself project that we're going to try together, featuring one of my favorite current trends, the turban. You've probably seen me wear them before on the blog, and I get asked all the time on where I find my turbans, but I really own just one turban that's already put together as a hat. The rest I make myself out of fun linen and silk scarves. And so today I'm going to be doing a little tutorial for you. There's several different ways to tie a scarf as a turban, and so I'm going to share some of my favorite ways, and hopefully it'll help you be able to recreate this look at home. So let's get started. Alright, so there are several different types of scarves that you can use for making yourself a turban. The first one that I'm going to show you is just about a 1.5 foot wide linen scarf. It's pretty long. It's about the length of my arm span, I would say. And so, you know, traditionally, obviously, these are worn, around your neck to keep warm. I like the linen for this particular project because it seems to lay a little bit flatter on your head and isn't quite as bulky as like a knit scarf would be. So that's why I've grabbed one of my summer scarves for this project. And so basically what you're going to want to do is start by putting the scarf right on top of your head, kind of like this, like you're going to wear it as like a little hood almost. And you can kind of use this beginning step to put the edge of it on your forehead right where you want it to hit. We can kind of change it after we get it settled, but I like to get mine sort of situated. And you're going to want to take the two ends like this, wrap it around to the back, and in the back all I'm doing is crossing it over itself. So here you have the two pieces, just crossing it over, bringing it back around to the front, and then here is the part that actually creates that little knot looking thing like on a real turban. And you bring it around to the front, you cross, so I crossed my right over my left, pull them tight again, and then I'm going to cross my right over my left again. So if you were tying a knot, you'd probably do it the opposite way the second time, but we're just going to make this little sort of faux knot there in the front. And you do that by doing right over left the first time, right over left the second time, and then if you have enough length in the back, you can just go ahead and tie a little knot back there. And then sometimes I like to leave the little fringy ends free, hanging down, kind of like they almost blend in with my hair a little bit sometimes. And then other times I just go ahead and tuck them in. And usually you have to kind of mess with it after you're done. You can do it different variations of how tight or loose that you want it, depending on the material you're using, where you want it to sit on your head, and just the overall look you're going for. So that's the first way. Alright, the next way I'm going to show you is using a large square silk scarf. This one I have is probably like 3.5 by 3.5 feet, which I feel like is a little bit bigger than a normal size silk scarf, but you can really do it this way with lots of different sizes. You just kind of have to play around with it and see which works best. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it into a triangle. Here, and then we're going to take our triangle, we're going to take the long edge, and we're going to put that about halfway down the back of our head, so I'll show you what I mean. So it's about halfway, it's about at the midpoint of the back of your head. You're going to leave this huge, awkward, extra flap facing forward. Hope you can still hear me. I can't tell. Okay, so you're going to take these two pieces. We're going to cross them once right over left, and then take them straight to the back. And I'm tying, I have just barely enough. I'm going to do a little double knot in the back, and I'll end up tucking those ends in. Hello! Okay, so fix the front pieces of my hair. So now we have this, you know, the top of our head covered and everything, and I have to pull it forward a little bit to make sure that this top part is snug the way I want it. And this part is not tricky, but you definitely have to mess with it sometimes. So what you basically are going to want to do is pull this last point here to the front. It usually looks best if you can kind of gather it to where it's just right here in the middle. And you're going to want to pull it straight back like this. And then I usually twist it a couple times so it stays all together. And then the trick is to just tuck it back into that little twist we made the first time around. So here's the twist that we did when we brought the two pieces in front. And now we're going to just tuck that last point right inside that little knot, and then kind of goes down and over to the side. And as I said, this one you really, I don't think I've quite perfected this way, but and it turns out different every time. So once you get the hang of it though, you'll kind of get used to doing it one way, and even sometimes be able to do it without looking, which is great. If you can do it without looking, then you're a professional. So here's that other way, and then I'm going to go ahead and tuck these little pieces under in the back so that they don't show. Since this one, I feel like with the silk scarf, it ends up being a little bit more refined. I don't like the extra pieces hanging out. With the fringy scarf, I don't mind it quite as much. So here's the second way. Okay, this last way I'm going to show you is really less of an actual turban and more of a turban style headband. The scarf I'm using is a pretty long silk scarf, but instead of using the square one this time, I'm using one that's, you know, just a large rectangle. It's about, I don't know, 2 feet wide, I would say, and then maybe like 5 feet long. So what we're going to do is just kind of gather the scarf at the midpoint here. I don't fold it or do anything fancy, just because I like to have it look a little bunched up. I don't want it to look perfectly flat or anything like that. So you take it here at the midpoint. You're going to put it right on your forehead. It's easiest, even if you're going to wear it more like a headband, it's easiest to when you're actually making it on your head to do it right on your forehead. I just feel like it slips a little bit less. So you're going to pull it straight across your forehead like this. The ends go to the back, cross it once in the back, so I'll show you what I mean. Just once, bring it back to the front, and then here's when we make our knot looking thing. Right over left, cross, pull it tight, and then we're going to cross right over left again, making that little bundled knot right there. And then depending on how long your scarf is, you may have to just end up tucking. I don't know if you can see what I just did there, but I just ended up tucking the pieces in like that because I didn't have enough to tie it in the back, which is no big deal. Usually stays put pretty well, and if you need to, you can even do a little bobby pin action on both sides to hold it in place. And then if you're going to wear it more like a headband, you just can kind of push it back, push the front part back further onto the top of your head, and then just make sure you pull this piece down towards the nape of your neck in the back so that it still stays on and doesn't want to slip off all day. How easy was that? Just a couple of simple steps and you can turn your very own silk or linen scarves into a beautiful turban of your very own. I've had a lot of fun experimenting with this style using different materials and patterns, and you can wear it really throughout the whole year, either when it's cold out or when it's warm. I like to try it with my hair up as well to keep my neck and shoulders cool, and it's kind of a fun way to pull your hair back, especially if you're having a bad hair day. So if you end up trying this look for yourself, I would love to see photos. If you have any questions about the process or the steps, feel free to ask them either in the comment section below or you're welcome to shoot me an email. And if you're interested in finding out more about my styling services, check out my website, styleandpepper.com, Or to get some more outfit inspiration and to see what I'm wearing, be sure to check out my blog, theconcretecatwalk.com as well. Thanks so much for watching this month's episode of the Style Spice series. We're so glad you stopped by, and we will see you next time. Bye!